Hey guys, what is going on? This is Wrestlelamia, back with another episode. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at the 19th December episode of SmackDown, as well as the wildest wrestling news stories and rumors you need to know, including a goldmine of spoilers for Raw and SmackDown. Is WWE closing the door on new hires? Is the referee who made the 3 count in a controversial title match in trouble? Blake Monroe shows off an injury, and more. As always, we won't recap the matches, but look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. The good. Cody is the law. Cody Rhodes did it again tonight, cutting an electrifying promo after SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis told Rhodes that he'd be stripped of his WWE Undisputed Championship if he laid a hand on Drew McIntyre. This was important, not only because of Drew alleging the WWE is an unsafe work environment, but because Cody paid Drew a visit to his home this week and brawled with him. While Aldis set the record straight, Cody had a few words of his own, reminding Aldis of who he is, the man who changed the game, won 2 Royal Rumbles, defeated Roman Reigns for the Undisputed Championship, then defeated the GOAT John Cena for a second title run. Cody even named himself as the reigning king of the ring, a notion Seth Rollins likely disagrees with. However, the real bombshell was when Rhodes pointed to his title and said as long as he's the champion, he is the law, shutting down Aldis' claim that Cody isn't above the law, and reminding Nick that as long as he holds the title, he works for the fans, not him. This promo was a reminder of the fire Cody brings and how he effortlessly plays a babyface who won't back down. Shut up and wrestle. Tonight's MFTs vs. Wyatt 6 WWE Tag Team Championship match was a blast, and it truly deserved its spot in the main event. The two teams, and the various members of their respective factions, delivered a sensational slobber knocker, with everyone getting involved and the referee being forced to call the bout a no contest. The tag title match was long overdue, as most of this program has been talk, and frankly, neither faction is known for their microphone skills. WWE let the teams do what they do best, brawl, and both factions could break out with more matches like this. A good distraction. Time to give WWE credit for making the most of its Women's United States Championship, as WWE seems to realize just how over Chelsea Green is and how she could help Julia get back on track after a boring title run. While the current Julia vs. Chelsea Green program is playing out at a snail's pace, WWE's only storyline setting, it's a good way to hide the woefully weak WWE Women's Championship picture. Women's Tag Division heating up. This week saw another chapter play out well with the WWE Women's Tag Team Division as Nia Jax and Lash Legend defeated the reigning champions, the Kabuki Warriors, in a non-title match, while Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair got some payback on Jax and Legend for their recent attacks. Fans would have to look back to 2019's Elimination Chamber, where 6 women's teams competed to crown the inaugural tag champions to find so much talent battling over the belts. The only downside is that WWE can't seem to book its women's singles championship division and tag team division well at the same time. DIY vs. Dragunov and Hayes. SmackDown featured its now mandatory action-packed tag match, this time with DIY taking on the fresh pairing of US champion Ilya Dragunov and Carmelo Hayes. The match delivered and furthered the storyline of Dragunov and Hayes getting payback on Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa for interfering in their matches. The bad. Michin and B-Fab sideshow makes both look weak. Jade Cargill's apparent feud against Michin and B-Fab continues to drag all 3 women down. Jade's dominance of the two does nothing to get her over, while Michin and B-Fab's pathetic-looking outings against the champ make them look like jobbers. Given the way things have been playing out, fans have to be wondering how long before WWE books Michin and B-Fab against Jade Cargill in a handicap match to give them a fighting chance. Women's undercard needs fresh blood. Tonight's Julia vs. Alba Fire match was good as a way of showing Julia is aiming at Chelsea Green's women's US title, but is also a reminder how weak the women's singles division is. While Alba Fire has done well as one of Chelsea Green's secret Harvest Slagents, she seems to be the only singles star WWE can pit against Julia. Given NXT's abundance of female talent, it's odd that WWE is maintaining such a sparse women's singles roster on SmackDown. Priest vs. Black is played out. WWE just can't can't let feuds end before they're stale, with Damian Priest versus Aleister Black being the latest example of a program whose shelf life expired weeks, if not months ago. While both superstars are well matched, WWE hasn't given fans any reason to invest in watching the two wrestle, a reminder that storylines where stakes are involved can make the difference between seemingly random matches and an exciting feud. Nothing Ugly as SmackDown featured 3 exciting matches, and a passable match between Julia and Alba Fire that continued the build for Julia's campaign for a second United States Women's Championship. News: major SmackDown spoilers. Topping today's news is some major spoilers that will impact SmackDown all the way into 2026. Wrestlelamia also has a spoiler for the 5th January Raw, so be wary. WWE ran its usual weekly edition of SmackDown, but also taped an episode for next week, 26 December, so wrestlers and staff could take time off for the holiday season. Unlike some taped shows, this one had some major happenings. The first is that Drew McIntyre is back and will face Cody Rhodes on the 9th January episode of SmackDown. Not only that, but the match will be a 3 Stages of Hell match, which means fans should expect a violent night. The second is that next week's SmackDown features a major title switch, with Ilya Dragunov giving Carmelo Hayes a shot at the United States Heavyweight Championship and Hayes capturing the belt. In other action, Joe Hendry defeated The Miz in a Miracle on 34th Street fight, giving fans their usual Christmas-themed bout along with some surprise appearances. These matches were announced for the 2nd January SmackDown: Damian Priest battling Aleister Black, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss battling multiple teams for a shot at the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship, and Jade Cargill defending her WWE Women's Championship against Mi Chin. As for Raw, Ringside News reports that Becky Lynch will get a shot at the Women's Intercontinental Championship on the 5th January Raw. Can current champion Maxine Dupree prove her win wasn't a fluke? WWE closes the door on new hires? Don't call us, we'll call you. That seems to be WWE's current policy regarding bringing in further talent, at least according to a report from Dave Meltzer in this week's Wrestling Observer newsletter. We were told that of late, talent from both TNA and AEW who have called WWE have been told that they aren't looking at hiring new people. The idea is that they have so many in developmental, many of whom are ready, that they don't need new people. This is not an absolute, and obviously guys on the level of Chris Jericho or Leon Slater wouldn't necessarily fall into that category. WWE's roster is jam-packed with talent, and judging from recent signings, they've cherry-picked all the TNA talent they wanted, including Jordan Grace and Joe Hendry. Are there any TNA or AEW talents you would like to see in WWE? Let us know in the comments below. Did NXT's FlopFinish land referee in hot water? Did a WWE referee get in trouble for making an unplanned 3 count? Fans are still talking about the flop finish on this week's NXT that saw Thea Hale score a surprise win over NXT Women's North American Champion Blake Monroe. In case you haven't been following the story, Hale wasn't supposed to win the title, but referee Felix Fernandez made the 3 count when champion Monroe failed to kick out. WWE was forced to recognize the title change, a situation which led to some fans asking if Felix found himself in the hot seat. Not according to Fightful Select. NXT referee Felix Fernandez got props backstage for counting the Thea Hale vs. Blake Monroe match as a shoot and doing the title change. The current belief is that WWE referees are trained to make 3 counts when a wrestler is pinned, and it's up to the wrestlers to make the kick out. It's a rare situation, but the Monroe-Hale match shows how quickly a match can end unexpectedly. A recent report from Ringside News explained what led to Blake failing to kick out. That scramble came after Monroe had the wind knocked out of her late in the match, preventing her from kicking out in time. WWE even briefly played Monroe's entrance music, since she was supposed to retain, before stopping it and switching to Hale's theme once the mistake became clear. No word yet on how WWE will handle the title change going forward, since NXT reportedly had plans in place for Monroe's reign. Rumor has it that the two could square off at NXT New Year's Evil. Blake Monroe shows off injury. Blake Monroe not only lost her NXT Women's Championship, she apparently suffered an injury to her ribs. Monroe tweeted a photo of herself with tape on her ribs. Just how injured they are remains unknown. Solo Sikoa's short babyface turn. Last but not least, fans who attended last night's double episode of SmackDown witnessed an abrupt change of events as the MFT's leader Solo Sikoa seemed to turn babyface during an in-ring segment that took place after the show ended. Ringside News' H. Jenkins is reporting that Solo, Jey Uso, CM Punk, and Cody Rhodes were in the ring together when the babyfaces apparently persuaded Solo to take a trip down memory lane to the days when he and Jey were one big happy family. After hearing the Yeet Rising anthem pop off, Solo Sikoa jumped up on the turnbuckle and started hyping up the crowd. This was a big change from his usual persona and was certainly breaking that character. Suddenly, just as Solo Sikoa had enough fun, he ate 2 super kicks from Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso as CM Punk waited to close things out. Do you think Solo Sikoa will ever turn babyface? Should he? Well guys, there you have it, WrestleLamia's look at the 19th December edition of SmackDown and the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know in wrestling. Be sure to leave your comments, and I'll see you next time for some more wrestling content.